radars.
Oh yeah, for sure. Huge blockbuster coming up.
Yeah.
And we've got the Rotten Tomatoes page pulled up here, so we can really go through all the details.
Yeah, so let's kind of take this apart, what's the mission of this deep dive? We've got this page. What are we gonna learn about the movie?
Yeah, so we want to make sure we're giving you all the most important information that's on this page, so that the stuff that jumps out right away that you want to know about the movie.
Okay, so right away, just getting oriented to this thing's a full title. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Gotta get that right.
Yeah, we got to be precise.
Gotta be precise.
It is listed as action, adventure, mystery, and thriller, which checks all the boxes.
Oh yeah, it's like the Mission Impossible bingo card there,
Yeah, exactly.
If it didn't have those, you'd be like, what's going on?
Something's wrong. Yeah.
What's going on? And then looking at the release date, Friday, May 23, 2025. So we're getting close here.
Yeah, we're on the home stretch now.
And directed by Christopher McQuarrie.
Another mission. Impossible for him.
I mean, he's really kind of taken the reins of this thing, What do you think that signals, having him back again?
Oh, you know what you're going to get at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's directed a bunch of these now.
Right.
So it means good things in terms of the quality and the action and the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. I mean, you can kind of expect a certain level of,
Yeah.
execution and, thrills and spills, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So starring Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, of course, but then also Haley Atwell as Grace.
Ooh, new character.
New character. Yeah, so that's intriguing.
Yeah.
And then Ving Rhames back as Luther Stickle.
Of course, can't have a mission. Mm-hmm. Impossible without Luke.
Can't have it. And then Simon Pegg, Benji Dunn.
Love Bridget.
Yeah, always brings the humor.
Yeah.
And Vanessa Kirby, the White Widow.
Oh, yeah, she's back.
From Fallout.
Yeah.
So she made quite an impression.
Yeah, she was great, so that's exciting.
Yeah, so, I mean, you've got like a real, like, solid core cast there.
Oh, yeah, this is like...
The All-Stars.
It's like the all-star team, and then written by Christopher McQuarrie and Eric Jenderson.
Okay, interesting.
So McQuarrie's doing double duty there, writing and directing.
Yeah, he's really got his hands in this one, huh?
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then distributed by Paramount Pictures.
Of course, yeah.
And then production company Tom Cruise.
So he's involved.
So he's very involved.
Yeah.
Original language is English, which I think we all could have guessed.
I would hope so.
And aspect ratio, digital 2.39.1.
Okay, so nice and wide.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
Cinematic.
Sounds cinematic, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, checking the boxes on all the, like, who, what, where, when, why kind of stuff.
Right, just the basic facts of the movie.
But then let's get into, like, the story a little bit. The synopsis that they have here is, our lives are the sum of our choices. Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning.
So I love that first line. Our lives are the sum of our choices. That's like heavy, like
It's like almost like a
philosophy.
a philosophy,
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Music stuff.
And then just like thrown in there like as an afterthought, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt.
By the way.
Yeah, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
But I like that they're kind of like, maybe hinting at some like weighty themes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think, like what choices that Ethan Hunt made that have led up to this.
Right.
Like, what's he gonna have to deal with, the consequences of?
Yeah, what are the choices he's gonna make in this one that are gonna,
Right.
make up his life?
Yeah, like, is this really gonna be the final reckoning for him? Like, are we gonna see
Right.
him have to pay for all the stuff he's done in the past?
Right.
I mean, that's what a reckoning is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's he done that's gonna come back to haunt him?
And I like how it's like, it's not just like some, cheesy action movie tagline,
Right,
It's
yeah.
it's like a little bit more,
A little deeper.
a little deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Trailers. Looks like there's a trailer. 2 minutes?
Oh, nice.
Big game spot, 30 seconds?
Okay, so they showed it during the Super Bowl or something.
I guess so. I mean, that's how these things work, right?
Yeah, you gotta get that Super Bowl audience.
But then there's this Mission Impossible 8
They-
teaser trailer, also 2 minutes.
Okay, so there's more,
What is going on with that?
right? Like, is this really the final one, or is it just like part 1 of 2,
Yeah, is it like a, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows part 1 and part 2 kind of situation?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Tomatometer 0 reviews, Popcorn Meter 0 verified ratings.
Well, yeah, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
so we'll have to see.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait on that. But they do have this more, like this section. And that's always kind of interesting to see, you know, what they think is like in the same vein.
Yeah, what they think you might also like based on this.
Right.
So it's like, what kind of movie is this going to be?
Yeah, and so Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, 96% on the Tomatometer and 94% audience score.
So people loved it.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. And you know, they've got the trailer there if you want to go check that out.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Fallout,
Oh, such a good one.
98% Tomatometer, 88% audience score.
Wow, they just keep getting better.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
trailer for that is there too. And then Rogue Nation,
Another classic.
94%, 87%. So I mean, you're talking like, you know,
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
High quality.
Consistently great.
Yeah. So that's encouraging.
Yeah, for sure.
And then outside of Mission, Impossible. They've got No Time to Die.
Okay, the Bond movie.
The Bond movie, yeah, 83% on the Tomatometer and 88% audience score.
So not quite as high as the Mission.
Yeah.
Impossibles, but still pretty good.
Yeah, and trailers there, and then Plane,
Oh, I saw that one.
79%, 94% audience score.
Oh, wow. People really like that one.
Yeah, and they got the trailer for that one too. So I mean, it's like if you like, you know, action and spies and stuff like that, you've got some.
We've got some homework to do.
You got some homework to do.
Get caught up.
All right, let's see. Related movie news. The most anticipated movies of 2025.
Okay, so this is on the list.
This is on the list, and they specifically mention Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, release dates, story cast, and more, so you know it's getting some buzz.
Yeah, people are excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. Awards leaderboard. Top movies of 2023.
Okay, so that's not about this movie.
Not about this movie, but it's like, you know, they're talking about awards. They're talking about movies, so.
Yeah, it's like they're plugged into the, you know, the film world.
Yeah, they're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
There's a photos section.
Oh, nice.
We don't know what photos they are, but, you know, you can go check them out, see what they've got there.
Probably some cool behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, maybe some, you know, action shots. I don't know.
Yeah. Or like character posters.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Okay, and then just to kind of like, you know, zoom out a little bit and talk about Rotten Tomatoes itself, you know, they got a bunch of different sections, you know, movies and theaters, TV shows, news columns, guides awards tour. Like, if you're into movies and TV, this is like a, you know, one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's a great resource for all kinds of information.
Yeah, and then they got some features, like a watch list, so you can keep track of all the movies you want to see, and you can set it to notify me when Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning comes out, so you don't miss it.
Nice.
And then, you know, they have the usual, you know, login, sign up, newsletter stuff.
Yeah, got to get those emails.
Yeah, I gotta get those emails.
Keep you updated.
So to kind of like bring it all home here, you know, we've learned that Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, it's an action-adventure mystery thriller coming out Friday, May 23, 2025, directed by Christopher McQuarrie, got Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Vanessa Kirby, you know, like a really solid cast. And then that tagline, our lives are the sum of our choices. You know, it just kind of makes you think.
Yeah, it's really intriguing.
Yeah, like what is this movie going to be about? You know, what are the choices that Ethan Hunt's going to have to make?
Right, like is it going to be a really heavy movie? You know, is he going to have to sacrifice something
Yeah.
to save the world, you know?
Yeah, and then that whole like Mission Impossible 8 teaser trailer, you know?
What's going on?
Like is this really the final one?
Right, is there more to the story?
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
No reviews yet, but, you know, based on the other Mission Impossible movies and, you know, just the general buzz, I think it's safe to say that this is going to be a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of everything we've got from the Rotten Tomatoes page. But, you know, thinking about that tagline, our lives are the sum of our choices, and knowing how these Mission Impossible movies are, you know, they're always like really intense and high stakes. What kind of choices do you think Ethan Hunt's going to be facing in this movie? Like, what are the big decisions he's going to have to make that are going to have, you know, these huge consequences?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it's something that we can all kind of think about as we wait for the movie to come out.
Yeah.
You know, like, what would you do in Ethan Hunt's shoes
Yeah.
if you had to make these impossible choices?
Yeah, is he going to have to, like, you know, sacrifice his own happiness to save the world?
Right? Or like betray someone he trusts?
Yeah.